For more on this, I want to bring in former deputy campaign manager for Mr. Trump and co-author of the book, Let Trump Be Trump, David Bossie. Great to see you, David.
Thanks for having me.
Listen, I looked at your some articles you've already written on this report, and you say it was highly inflammatory and a damning report. And yet my question is, so what? What comes out of this? Because the bottom line, as the president pointed out, the overall line in there was, but none of this was politically motivated. So, okay.
Yeah, it's just like a government report. Yeah. to talk about what was going on, the bias that was going on all throughout the 500 pages, and then on the last page say there was no bias. So it's very strange, and I think I totally agree with the president that this is a disappointing conclusion that I don't think is borne out by the facts of the case. Look, James Comey, I'm disappointed. There needed to be a closer look at what he said, whether there was any perjury. Look, McCabe was referred to the United States Attorney for prosecution, and I think that's what some of those on the president's team want to look at for whether it's Strzok or Comey or others. We also find out in this report that there wasn't just Strzok and Page that were having a relationship.
Right.
Of the 5, there was actually 2 other FBI agents who were in a relationship, who are now married. It's an unbelievable thing. Of 5 people, 4 of them are in a relationship. I just find that to be remarkable. But the politics of it was just infused throughout the entire thing. They're texting each other back and forth. These two unnamed FBI agents. Yeah. That's going to end up coming out, and I think we're going to see a little bit more about that.
Well, and to your point, we know the infamous things that were said between Peter Strzok and his girlfriend Lisa Page. You're not going to ever let him become president, right? No, he won't. We'll stop it. You say, let those words sink in a little bit. And there you have the part of that text.
Can I just make one point?
Yeah, please.
It's very important. This investigation by Mueller's team has been going on about 13 months.
Into the Russian collusion issue.
Into the this so-called Russia collusion issue. But this investigation at the Department of Justice and the FBI began 2 years ago, August. It will be 2 years in August that this investigation is going on. And the reason we know that is because there was a story about Paul Manafort and his ongoing episodes of 10 years earlier, and that the FBI was investigating him for those things. The reason, and then he was fired by the Trump campaign. The reason that we know that is because the FBI leaked that information to the reporters, and it was within just days of Peter Strzok and Page having a text about this, about stopping him, and about we're never going to let this happen. We need to understand that these FBI agents were working hand in glove with the mainstream media to stop this president.
It's interesting. No, well, that was clearly the plan. It failed because they were probably all having relationships with each other and forgot to stop Donald Trump becoming president. The president today saying on the White House lawn in that remarkable gaggle with reporters this morning, which was very interesting and just very entertaining. He says this report totally exonerates me from the Mueller investigation. I don't see how that's the case. This was this IG's report was about a separate issue. This Russia probe, no matter what you think of it, goes on.
It does exonerate him in this sense, that it proves that the FBI had a political motivation against him. So everything that is born from this investigation is tainted by that. That is a very important, and it's going to be important if there are any cases ever brought, because these things are not forgotten and they will not be left behind. They will be brought into courtrooms if this ever makes it there as it relates to any of these folks that they're investigating.
Very quickly, David, it's my sense that the president has got a bit of momentum going now. He's had this meeting. He's talking with North Korea. The economy is humming along, maybe at a 4% growth rate now. Unemployment at the lowest level in a long, long time. Being borne out in this Inspector General's report that he was absolutely right to fire James Comey for his actions. I feel like he's gaining a bit of momentum right now. Would you agree?
He certainly is, and no better time for Republicans. He's also showing the American people why we need more Republicans in Congress and why the midterms are so important, because the Democrats have no agenda other than to roll back the successful tax cuts and to impeach this president. So I think he's proving to them why we need Republican control of the House and of the Senate. And I think his timing of all of these good things coming together for the American people are just going to be better come November.
We shall see. The momentum is growing. I can feel it. David, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time today. Thank you.